Hello. Hey, yay! Almost a full house. I like it. Welcome to Tuesday night show and share. Welcome one and all. So this is a chance for you to share your projects, both successes, failures, or ask questions that you're working on. So I want to start us off with Arnold and a taper gauge.
So I work in car manufacturing, and we make parts that look kind of like this, and we use gauges that look kind of like this to check them. And the way they're designed is they're always offset by 5 millimeters. So there's that gap there, and what you do is you take a taper gauge that looks like that, and you push it in between, and you can read off the measurement to see how far away your part is, and then go make process changes. These are pretty standard at my plant, but I don't like them because they don't really fit in the gauges sometimes. They go from basically nothing all the way up to 15 millimeters, and we really only use this section of it. So I thought, okay, well, I've got access to a laser cutter. I'll try making them. And so that's what I ended up doing. And so I made a bunch of prototypes of this, some successful, some not. Where's the zoom button? So you can see these are a little bit dirty. I'm still working on perfecting it. But so far I've been really happy with the results. It's pretty accurate. I've measured it with calipers. It seems to be doing what I want it to. And once I get the design finalized and the process perfected, I can make a whole bunch of these, and they'll fit perfectly on a keychain. So that's my project.
What's the material, please?
This is the same steel we actually use to make the car parts. It's a specific version of steel. It's 0.22% carbon.
You have to file the edges out, and how clean is the cut?
The cut is not very clean. I can pass some of these around. The laser melts it, and then it blows it through the bottom, and you get some dross on the back. Any other questions? All right.
Is that the laser cutter here, or is that work?
Unfortunately, no. It's the one at my work.
That's what I thought.
That one's 4,000 watts, and it's 5 foot by 10 foot cut area. I already told you, it's too big.
Thank you. Reminds me of the machine shop that we used to work in. They had go, no-go gauges. So it would, yeah. All right, I see a lot of head nods. Yeah, you know what those are. All right, how about David with some Jacob's chucks?
Hello. I'm the filler portion of the evening. I didn't make anything nor plan to present tonight. But I had inherited some old tools, and they've been sitting rusting in a shed for years and years. And last time I went back down to my parents' house, I brought some stuff back, some of which were some massive Jacob's chucks. I don't know if any of y'all do much machining. These are some of the biggest ones I've seen. These won't even fit my lathe. But instead of being frozen and rusty, they're now functional, I guess. This taper's kind of chewed up. I don't know what the history is on it, but I thought it would be real funny to take one of these and replace the taper with a number 2, which will actually fit my lathe. So it's just a size comparison there. You know, it's going to be pretty ridiculous, but I don't know, kind of a novelty share tonight. Yeah, yeah. These will hold up to 3/4 inch.
Are they ball bearing trucks or are they plain ones?
No, the two large ones are ball bearing. Actually, I think the small one might be ball bearing too.
When you cleaned them up, did you use any chemicals or was it primarily just other tools?
I degreased them with a chemical degreaser, rinsed them out, put them in some Evaporust, and then dried them out real good, oiled them up, hit them on a wire wheel. So there's some pretty heavy pitting on this one. I don't know if you can see where it didn't quite. I didn't want to get too aggressive with it, but pardon? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So number four Jacobs. So it's not gonna be on your standard cordless drill. Maybe.
Is that a hint, Billy?
Well, I'll say if you want to teach a lathe class, maybe we can talk. So.
Expert level return.
All right. If there's no other questions. All right.
Thank you, Jacob, or David. I have a Timothy Klein listed. I don't have a project name, though.
Oh, it should be a Dulcimer.
Well, that side was left blank, just a name. Oh, so are you going to play for us?
Sure. So this is, I guess I'll stand you the mic so I'm going to have a hard time figuring out where to play this thing.
But you can put it on this side. You can be on this side over here.
Okay.
Stand on that side.
All right, so let me just set that. I'm going to prop this up for a moment. So back in, gosh, what? I'm going to show my age. Back in about 1983, I found an article in Mother Earth News. I was just kind of getting in touch with this kind of the old-time traditional Appalachian music scene, and I came across an article in Mother Earth News. It's, build an easy hammer dulcimer, and it was really a hack. Take some 2x4 stock things, throw it on the table saw, and chop it up, to square corners, and it was like bare minimum. And I got a first hammer dulcimer out, which I actually have out in the car. And if people want to talk about these things later, I can go out and get it. But from that, I got started and built probably about 8 hammer dulcimers, out of which 3 were successful and stayed together long enough. But I experimented with all kinds of things like, desk drawers. I know a desk drawer, you can take that out and flip it over, and it's kind of like a soundboard, and that doesn't work. There's a lot of tension on the strings, and that just kind of forces everything together. So it needs to be a certain structural strength. This hammer dulcimer, I think it's not dated, but probably was built in the early 90s, 91, 92 maybe. And it's one of the ones that has successfully hung together. But that was about the last of the dulcimers that I built. And I've been kind of recently retired and kind of looking around for projects and found these things sitting in the basement. Got one out, and I was still able to remember a few tunes and play it. I was very happy with that. I'm not great, but I did remember some. And I'm thinking about getting back in and building some more of these things. And I know I've talked to a few people on on Mattermost, and a few people are interested in it. And I thought I'd start with an easy project. If anybody wants to come and make a quick and dirty hammer dulcimer, it'll work. It'll make sounds. It may not be the best sound in the world. I'm happy to do that as a little group project. And eventually I want to get into making something that maybe sounds a little better than this and is a lot lighter. This is a particularly heavy one that's held together. Heavy means it holds its tune. It's a brick, and it doesn't flex a lot with temperature and humidity and string tension. So, any questions about that? Should I play it? Yes. Okay. I had to make it. I couldn't find my hammers, so I had to make a couple of hammers really quick this afternoon. So we'll see how this all goes. Let's see. If I put this in, is it going to break anything? Free bird. We'll work on that one. There you go.
Yeah, that was wonderful. If it wouldn't have been so embarrassing, I might have done a little jig over there. You got into that with the beer mug full, right? Yeah. So that's all that's on the sign-up sheet. Is there anybody else that wanted to share? Okay. Well, we'll move on to classes that are being offered. Hopefully, we'll get one for a Dulcimer soon. All right. But in the meantime, we've got a TIG class on March 19th. We've got the board meeting on March 20th. A MIG class on March 23rd, along with the wood authorization class. Learn to Sew is on the 26th of March, and blacksmithing on the 27th. So that would be a blacksmith authorization class. We have scrap metal art coming on April 2nd. Hand sharpening tools on April 6th. And another wood class on April 9th, but I was in too much of a hurry to list what kind of wood class it was. So go to the events calendar on our website and look it up, and you can find the times and the prices as well. So I'd like to ask everybody to go ahead and enjoy the shop tonight. If you're new here, find somebody with a red badge. We'll give you a tour, answer any questions you have. Other members, you're free to start a hack night, is what we call it. And work on projects or ask questions of those who presented tonight. Thank you for coming.